In this video, I want to take just a few moments and introduce Kriegsfront Tactics, a new mech-based tactical strategy game being developed by Toge Productions, an indie studio from Indonesia. With the release of a couple of demos on Steam, I just wanted to show you some gameplay and give you some of my thoughts on the game so far, and then talk a little bit about what the studio has said concerning the game's future. Kriegsfront Tactics takes its inspiration from several sources, including games like Front Mission, the XCOM remakes, and even Darkest Dungeon. Customizable mechs with destructible body parts, various different weapons from hammers and Uzis to shoulder-mounted rocket launchers, and the mech aesthetics are inspired by Front Mission, while the tactical positioning, character-focused emergent storytelling, and permadeath is inspired by XCOM, and finally, roguelike exploration and the stress and psychological toll of combat on pilots is inspired by Darkest Dungeon. With inspirations such as these, the team at Toge has really set a high bar that if they're able to rise to, will make a fantastic game. As it stands right now, there are two demos available to give us just a glimpse of what the team is working on. First, there is a mech designer where you can slap on whatever parts you want and then customize the colors of your mech. Then you can use the map creator to set up a level to use as a backdrop for your mechs and use the photo mode to take some cool snapshots. These levels and mechs aren't playable, however. This is just here to give you an idea of how mech customization might work. The second demo, though, is a playable combat mission with some pre-made mechs where you can test out combat mechanics and get a feel for the game. So now I want to take a minute and discuss a few things that stood out to me while playing the combat demo. First off, the setting for the game is an alternate history 1970s Southeast Asia, which obviously creates a very Vietnam War era feel. In fact, while you're playing the map, you'll see helicopters flying overhead, the jungle on fire, and even hear music that gives you that 1970s war vibe. The team at Toge has actually done a great job at getting the feel that they were looking for, and this is a good sign as they go on to develop the game further. When it comes to the actual combat, it does feel a lot like Front Mission, although with a better chance to actually hit your enemies. Attacks do still miss from time to time, but not near as often as you'll see in the early hours of something like the Front Mission remakes on Switch. As expected from a mech game, each part, body, arms, and legs, have their own armor and health stat, allowing you, in some cases, to target specific parts of an enemy mech to disarm it or slow it down. When using an aimed attack or a sniper rifle, the game will go into a first-person viewpoint where you can manually target each part. I know other mech games have done this, but this did stand out as well done and really fun to use. The system also creates realism as you have to have a clear line of sight to your target or you won't be able to hit them. Speaking of line of sight though, there is one really nice feature I need to mention. If you see an enemy firing from a tree line but you can't actually see their mech, you can still hit them with indirect fire from artillery. If you fire an AoE attack into the area the shots are coming from, you can still hit the enemy. I thought this was fantastic as not all games will allow you to do this. It just shows an attention to detail and realism that I really appreciate. You can also hamper the enemy's line of sight by hiding in the trees. As long as you are in the trees and no enemy unit is adjacent to you, they can't see you or target you. This opens up a huge tactical advantage when there are trees nearby. You can skirt around the edge of a forest looking for enemies with a scout and leave the rest of your units hidden. Then once your scout locates an enemy, you can unload on them from the tree line and they can't retaliate unless they follow you into the trees. This feature is really awesome, and I hope that the developer can find more ways to incorporate more terrain advantages like this. I should also mention that this works for the enemy too, so sometimes you have to stick your neck out with one of your units so the rest of your units can target the enemy. The different weapons we get to use all feel, look, and sound really cool too, and overall the gameplay feels smooth. This is just an early demo, however, and the developers still have a long way to go to make this a full-fledged and polished game. The UI, for instance, is functional, but one thing I felt was a little clumsy was confirming orders. So after selecting an attack to use, for instance, you then have to select an enemy and then click on them a second time or click the confirm button to confirm the attack. You also have to do this for all other orders too. It does help you not accidentally do something, but it just feels odd, like I'm doing an extra step I don't normally have to do. But I'm sure the UI will evolve though as the game continues to be developed. Now we come to graphics. So Toge Productions has decided to go with a retro style for the graphics, which I think fits really well with their stated goals for the feel of the game. You can definitely see the pixelation in the environment and mechs when viewed up close, but that is intentional and helps build the kind of gritty, war isn't pretty kind of feel to the game. As an artistic choice, it makes sense, is done really well, and helps with performance, meaning you won't need a super PC to play the game when it's done. And I should mention quickly right here that they do plan a PC and console release. I don't know what consoles that will be right now, but it will not be just a PC exclusive. So keep that in mind too for those of you that don't have a PC or don't play on PC. But anyway, back to the graphics. The environments look good and believable, and the mechs are well designed. I also really appreciated the pixelated explosion animations when mechs blow up, and the great sound effects really help bring it all together. I am excited to see what the developer comes up with for Kriegsfront Tactics, because this demo shows a lot of potential, and though there is a long way to go still, I think they have a great idea. Many mech-style tactical games fall short of bringing us the experience we're looking for, and I hope Toge Productions learns from those to bring us a great mech game. Listening to their devlog, they definitely have a love of the genre and want to create a game that mech lovers and tactics players everywhere will enjoy. They do have at least 2 more demos planned in the future that will delve into more features like squad management and the core game loop. As far as a full release, it looks like we're still at least a couple years away, unfortunately. But if you'd like to know more, you can watch the developer's devlog via the demo's Steam page. I hope this video was able to shed some light on Kriegsfront Tactics, and let me know in the comments if this is something that you're looking forward to. Please remember to give the video a like, and check out this video I made on the Front Mission remake for Nintendo Switch. Thank you so much for watching, have a great day, and keep on gaming.